anybody's messing around with these hoverboards, I got a 10-inch hoverboard buddy of mine, Andy, turned me on to. That's in the helicopter hobby and stuff that I am. And I noticed that when I rode it, it wanted to drift off one way or another really fast and try to swing you off. And it won't try, it will. So, you know, so I'm looking just, you know, how to mod these things, if there's programs in them. I accidentally even got into the ESC program by holding a button down too long. It took me several days to figure out what I did, but I learned the beeps and got it back into the program that is for the hoverboard in the ESC itself. So I won't do that again. It took a few minutes or a few days to figure that out. But what I'm getting into is the inner tube mod that I found on the internet. So I looked up, you know, hoverboard mods. What they did is you can take like an 18 or 20 inch bike tube and cut it completely in half, and then long ways down through it, and you'll take two pieces of 2A tape that is, you know, 15-20 pound, made by M3 or something like that, and you'll start it off on the bottom and put a strip here and a strip here. And once you cut that in half and then split it down the middle, like I said, you know, you cut it here and then cut it the other half, and you got the complete half of the inner tube. And then with this one here, though, I just got to a line right here and cut right beside that line to open it all the way up. And then you'll stick it on these two pieces of one-way tape that we put here, peel the plastic off of that, stick it on there, and keep this as straight as possible, and roll it around as tight as you can get it. And once you're done, take some duct tape or some kind of hobby tape and put about 2 or 3 rings around it to hold that on there. So what happens is when you're flying down the road or whatever, or you make a turn with all that rubber and stuff there, it wants to constantly try to find itself, bring itself back to center, to zero. So it's constantly trying to straighten you up instead of constantly trying to swing you off. So I was really curious to see if this mod was going to work. It absolutely does. It's kick-ass. It's probably a little bit too much. It's a little stiff. So that's okay. He had a really good starting point. Of course, anybody can go back through anything they want and get it to their likings, of course. And in the future, you'll be seeing me crack into these, and I will have my own battery trays to be able to release them in and out, because I'm not going to be plugging mine up to the wall for a couple hours at a time. I will want to change my batteries in 8 seconds and be back at it, whether it's on a scooter or I'm standing on it. But anyway, anybody's got one of these, check that out. You can find that on YouTube. Punch in like I think I punched in hoverboard mods, and this guy come up. I think he was maybe a German or something. But anyway, it works well for fast speeds. So that's what it's about, is fast speeds. Thanks.